Okay, folks, it's your buddy Mike Messier. Just saw, I would say, a funny film, a humorous film, an endeavor of comedic proportions. Scrambled, leading actress. I don't think I've ever seen her before. If I have, I can't remember in what. Leah McDermott, I believe. I think she wrote this movie. I think she directed it, or at least produced it, and starred in it. Funny lady, redheaded lady. Uh, I have a hard time remembering this lady's name. I want to say Eom. Dare I say the black lady from Saturday Night Live? Like, she's been on the show forever. She did a Candace Owen impersonation not too long ago. She's solid. She's funny. She's solid. I'm sorry, I get the names mixed up. And Clancy Brown as the father. So what's this movie about, fine folks? Should you see it? Should you not? I think so. I think it's a good comedic film. I think pretty much anybody could see this. Unless you're really sensitive, there is some nudity. The lead actress does some nudity. Tasteful, I guess. And I thought the movie was good. So what's it about? This woman is 34 years old. Her character and her family, meaning her parents, of which Clancy Brown, who you might recall played the Highlander in the original Highlander film. He's her aggressive Irish father. She's got a Latina mom who's kind of a quiet character. Didn't recognize that actress. Redheaded brother. It was a little unclear if the two siblings are supposed to be twins. They're both, I believe, 34 years old. It would have made sense because they looked very close in age. And basically, the father's getting all pissy and vinegary because neither one of his children have bequeathed him a grandchild, and he feels that he's getting old. And for whatever reason, this part of the movie didn't really make any goddamn sense. There's no pressure on the son to go out and knock up some chick, even though the son is a rich business guy with a multi-million-dollar business, and he probably has a seven-figure, bank account himself. But there's no pressure on the son to procreate or to find some chick to knock up. I think they could have gone into that a little bit. I mean, dare I say, they could have made the son character homosexual so that he just didn't have an interest in, have, not that homosexual people can't, have children, adoption and so forth, and other, baby making processes, so to speak. But it didn't really make sense why the father didn't give the son, seemingly heterosexual single male son, mid-30s, no pressure for the son to have any kids, even though the son is a millionaire and a businessman. I think they could have tied that T a little bit better, made that make sense to me, because it didn't. Why is the son exempt from this pressure? You didn't have to do a whole lot. Just say, maybe he's got a fucking condition, or he's impotent, or is something wrong with him, or he's gay, or something. Just something to make it make sense, because the whole time the son's in this fucking, or don't even have the son character. I mean, that might have been fine. So why is because basically if you're the type of father who's pressuring his kids to carry on the bloodline of the family or to produce grandchildren, you would think that a son theoretically would carry on the family last name. I think they could have just amped that up a bit more, a little bit of tweaking. They didn't really get into the whole bloodline of the family, or you don't even have any cousins, or whatever the fuck. Really give this girl more pressure, because it didn't make much sense. And also, she goes to her friend. See, the movie starts off, it kind of swerved me, because the lady from SNL is getting married in the opening part of the movie, and I thought what I was starting to see, I didn't watch any previews for this movie, just read a little bit of a blurb, but it seemed like the friend character, it was going to be like a bridesmaid type of movie, and it seemed like she was the star of the movie, and the redheaded lady, Leah McDermott, was really like a co-star, but that did not turn out to be the case. She's always a bridesmaid. That might have been a good title for this movie, Always a Bridesmaid. But basically, it's not about getting married so much as just getting knocked up. I think it's one of these movies that you have to kind of see it to get the laughs. I can't really like go into any of the jokes or any of the scenarios that are funny because it's not really funny. Like to spell them out, you can't really reiterate the things that happen in this movie. It's a lot of what the kids call awkward humor. Some good music in this movie. Music is used well, and the story of, you know, the middle-aged woman, or not even middle-aged, I mean, whatever the fuck, 30s, mid-30s, biological clock. We've seen this as part of sitcoms and other shows and movies. But this movie did its own unique job of exploring that situation. The movie takes place in the outskirts of Los Angeles, of Hollywood, so forth. I thought it was a good movie. I mean, it's your basic, like, you know, club chick decides she needs to have a kid, but all the good guys are taken, or whatever the fuck. And she, you know, before the movie began, the big thingamajig that her fucking father's giving her a hard time about is that she left the perfect boyfriend, and so now she can't get back with him because he's gone ahead and knocked up another chick himself. And so on and so forth. So, I mean, some of this stuff, you might call it, quote, white lady problems, quote, or whatever the fuck. I mean, it's not bombs in Bosnia or, you know, people in the Ukraine with a gun to their fucking head type of serious stuff. But still, you know, the feeling of being left out. This woman always feels left out because all her friends are marrying off and she's the last one at the club, so to speak. But, you know, I think that this lady, this actress, like I said, I might be missing something. She might be the star of some Netflix show that I don't watch. I mean, all these goddamn shows that all you fuckers watch that I don't watch. I'm always discovering people's careers now. Like, I discovered, oh, who's this Brie Larson person that's such a big deal with all these Marvel movies? Didn't realize because I just started watching the United States of Tara 15 years after everybody else did. Like, okay, she was a teenage actress on this big show. I never watched that show until like 2 months ago. Now I'm watching it. So I'm always discovering these wonderful things. Why people are famous that I don't know who the fuck they are, right? So this woman, this redheaded lady, I find her attractive. I mean, if in real life, if she needed to be bred, I would breed with her, I suppose. But I don't know why she's famous. I don't know if she's a famous comedian or if she's on some fucking show that I've never watched or whatever the fuck. But I mean, I thought she did a great job of carrying this movie. And like I aforementioned said, it seems like she wrote the movie or directed it or whatever such thing or produced it or all of the above. So if you want to be famous, folks, make yourself a movie. You know what I mean? So I thought she did a nice job. I thought the movie was touching. It was funny, at times sexy. I mean, kind of like a raw sexiness, not like a real sexiness, but, you know, there are moments where there's intimacy, I guess, and in a comedic way, but also kind of in a matter-of-fact way. You know, basically, this is, like I said, a club woman who's hooking up with men, and, you know, now she's got to be the good girl. Like, the bad girl has to graduate to be the good girl and have a fucking baby. So, I don't know. I thought the movie was good. I mean, is it the fucking best movie of the year? No. But it's good. It's enjoyable. Is it a comedic classic? No. I don't think this is one of those movies. There might be some people who watch this movie over and over again, i.e. single women, perhaps. I think I'm good. Like, for instance, the movie This Is 40, if you remember that one from years gone by, that was a movie that I didn't think I would like because I didn't like the lead actress going into it because I thought she was like a nepotism benefactor because her husband, I believe, is Paul Rudd and she always gets put in his movies. But when I watched the movie, I actually liked it a lot. And I turned the beat around for my thoughts on that actress, believe it or not, as if you give a shit. But I would not go back and watch that movie again. I do recall that Megan Fox was in it. I do recall it was funny. I do recall the lead character in that movie, This Is 40, her birth date, December 5th, is the same as mine. So I did think of that. Or maybe it was like, yeah, no, I think it was December 5th. It happens to be my birthday, okay? I'll accept presents even if they're late. Also on the show Shrill, which I did a nice review of, I believe, a character, the boyfriend character, his birthday was December 5th. So who gives a fuck, right? Any goddamn way. I thought this movie, attractive actress, redhead, really put her gusto into this movie. Did her own nudity, from what I can tell. She put her heart and soul into this movie, and I think it's a successful movie. I think it's a 3.5, maybe even a 3.75 star movie out of 5. I laughed out loud. A lot of movies I don't, like stuff that's supposed to be funny, I never typically find funny. I'm a hard laugh because I know comedy so well. I know the beats, the patterns, but this movie did have me laugh at some situations. So, I know that this was not the big movie of the night. There was another one of these AMC secret movies tonight. I've missed the Mean Girls musical. I wanted to see that a few times, but I've missed it. So a few things in the theater that are getting big box office right now as I speaketh. Don't give a fuck about Aquaman 2. Didn't see the first one. Not a fan of the Jason Momoa fuck. Sorry, doesn't do much for me. But yeah, I say good job, whatever your name is, Leah McDermott, whatever, attractive redheaded woman. You put your soul, your body, your face, your jokes, your pain, your humanity into this film, and it was successful. Good job.